Today, I would like to talk about self improvement burnout. I think this is an affliction, if I can use that word, that is befalling more and more people right now as we in society in general get more enamored with and interested in this whole field of self improvement. And with that demand, there is an ever increasing supply of amazing podcasts and books and YouTube channels and all kinds of stuff about anything you want to improve in your life, from your body to your lifestyle to your mental health, your relationships. And it's very exciting when you start really getting into this stuff. And I think it's really important work. And I also think that sometimes when you get really, really immersed in this stuff, you can sort of get this elation that can last for a while. I've heard some YouTube channels call this the purple glow, which is essentially once you start getting really into therapy and self help and self improvement and all this stuff, that you instantly start feeling better and start feeling really excited and feeling like you can name all of your emotions and feelings and motivations and understand other people better and just feel like very quickly you've been able to completely hack your state of being, your mood. And this purple glow does fade away after a time, and at some point something bad will happen to you or to someone you know, or you'll just have a bad night of sleep or something, but you will start to feel bad about something. You'll get in a bad mood, you'll get cranky, you'll get upset. This can be more troublesome in some ways after you've started doing a lot of work on self improvement than before, because I think if you don't spend a lot of time thinking about your thoughts and feelings and emotions, I think you're just sort of reacting your way through life and not introspecting too much, versus when you start getting really into this stuff and then you're in this purple glow and you've got this feeling that you sort of mastered yourself, and then you have a bad day, you get in a bad mood, and this can sometimes be much harder because I think that there is a sense of shame, maybe, that can pop in, at least for me, when you get in these moods, because you spend all these countless hours and spent all this money on books and audiobooks and all this stuff, and you're doing your daily protocols of journaling and meditation, whatever it is that you like to do. And then when you just feel uncontrollably bad mentally, emotionally, you sort of feel like a failure in a way. You're like, I thought I won at mastering myself. I thought I won at being able to just ward off and deflect any sort of bad feeling because of all this work that you've done and the excitement that you feel being part of it. And there's a important lesson, I think, to be found here in these moments. And I think it's the solution to this problem of self improvement, burnout, and this sort of shame and embarrassment you get when you inevitably have a negative emotion because you're a human being, and human beings feel bad sometimes. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. And I think the answer to this, which might sound a little cheesy, but is that you have to give yourself a lot of grace and compassion and forgiveness for just being a human and being subject to the beautiful, tumultuous, volatile imperfections that it means to be a human, to be interacting with other people, to feel that there are things in your life that are out of your control, that you didn't expect, that you didn't want, or maybe you did want, but it didn't make you feel the way you thought it would. And I think there's another lesson to be had here, aside from just the grace and forgiveness and compassion for oneself, which is that it's very important, I think, for those of us that spend our time trying to make ourselves better and to learn ourselves. And that is that I think you have to treat it almost like a sport where you research and you practice and you do drills. But then when it's game day, you can't be thinking about all the minutia and the steps and the protocols. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your subconscious to know what to do and to just play the game. And with this analogy, I'm not trying to imply that life itself is a game, but to bring the analogy home, I think it's super important to try to understand yourself better and to understand what happened in your past that made you the way you are, that made you react to things the way that you do, and to try to get better control of yourself, to learn how to self-regulate better. But when you actually go and engage with life, which I guess for all intents and purposes, what I mean by that is when you go out and be with and interact with other people, you have to let all that stuff go from the front of your mind and just be there and just be present, because you can try so hard to learn all this stuff, to try to master yourself, to be perfect at empathy and sympathy and self-control. And no matter how hard you try, you're going to mess up and you will say something really dumb and you will have regret for it. You will react in ways that you shouldn't have. There will always be a better way that you could have handled the situation when you look back in retrospect. And that's okay. It has to be okay. You have to let yourself be. You have to let go sometimes. So, again, I think it's wonderful and important to work on yourself, to work on self-improvement. I think it's the most important thing that I'm working on right now. But when you are engaging with life, when you are engaging with other people, you just have to let that all go and just be, and accept that you're going to make mistakes and you will mess up, you will make promises and you'll break them and you'll change your mind. And that's being human. This was a bit of a weird one today. Everything is good. Everything is good. But this is on my mind, and I just thought it was kind of important to get out here and to share. And that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.